What's going on, everyone? Nick from Comic Culture here. It's time for Nick at Night, my weekly comic book review show. Let's get into the books I read this week. We're going to start over in Marvel real quick with Phoenix issue number 11. Now, we have Phillips on this one. It's the beginning of a brand new arc right here. And I got to say, this is probably the last Phoenix issue I'm going to be reading. The story is going in a direction that I really don't care about a whole lot. If you're a big, long-time reader of Jean Grey stuff, if you want to know more about her sister and her family and what could have been or what might be still, this might be a run for you. I don't really have that context. I don't really have that interest, so I'm going to be dipping back out. We have a person who has the cosmic perspective, right? We have such a wide world of possibilities for this character, but we're honing in on very, very small personal matters, which I don't think I really care about necessarily. I just don't understand how somebody with that kind of power could have that type of perspective. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I'm just missing the core element of this character and how it merges with the Phoenix Force and everything else, but I just don't seem to care about these mundane things, so to speak, right? Her perspective has shifted over the years with new power and everything, especially with this latest upgrade. So what do? We throw some of that power away and we focus in on some older territory, I guess. I'm not entirely sure. Artwork was okay. Story didn't engage me that well. So I'm going to probably be dropping Phoenix, to be honest with you. We have issue number 11 out. I'm dying to hear your thoughts, though. Where am I wrong? Let me know down below. Continuing Marvel, we have Star Wars Jedi Knights. We have issue number 3 right here. I really liked issue number 1. I liked issue number 2. Issue 3 seems like a little bit of a break, which is interesting because typically in a comic run, the third issue really gives us the meat and potatoes of what's going on. It explains the overall story, like who's our main villain, what exactly is going on. We don't do that. This seems like a break from the norm, to be honest with you. We crash land on a planet trying to rescue some others. We have this giant planetary kaiju that's been chasing our heroes around, and we do some Jedi stuff to get away from them. We don't really push the story forward. Maybe I missed some nuances inside the story itself. It was fine for what it was, but it didn't have that punch, that impact that I got from issue 1 and 2. Issue number 3, a little bit of a letdown. I want to know what you guys thought, though, down below. Continuing Marvel, we have One World Under Doom issue number 4. This was awesome. I loved it so much. The idea that Dr. Doom is the Sorcerer Supreme and he's using that power to, for his own reasons, right? Trying to convince the world, or rather give them things that they want so they jump on board with him, so he can, reign supreme over the entire world, is really interesting in itself. The hero aspect of all that was really boring, I think. They're just like trying to punch him, right? Busting through walls, trying to thwart his schemes, but they're realizing that he's a big force to deal with right now, and everybody wasn't brainwashed, but they were convinced to join his side just by giving him basic things that they want. That was a cool little twist in there, but the fact that he's kind of given up his duties to protect this realm against Dormammu, and what Dormammu does when he comes to Earth to challenge Doom head on, loved this entire battle. It was really back and forth, you know what I mean? But Dormammu does get the upper hand, but you cannot count out Doom in any way, shape, or form. And it's a really interesting way that he's going to be combating Dormammu in the next coming issues. I really like that a lot. So we'll see where that relationship between Doom and the heroes goes after this arc right here. That's going to be really interesting. Loved issue number 4, One World Under Doom. Must read it. Let me know if you did. Then wrapping up in Marvel, we have Godzilla versus the X-Men, issue number 1. I don't know why I'm reading these crossovers, to be honest with you. They do have like an old school vibe. If you love Godzilla, you like the ancillary cast, you like some of his villains and whatnot, I think you're going to dig these crossovers. But to be honest with you, I'm not really digging it. I just want to see how absurd these will get. And this one definitely got to the absurd. Now, in all these crossovers, Godzilla has been portrayed as a menace in the first opening pages. It's very formulaic, but we learn over time that Godzilla has, more perception than we think, right? He's smarter than we think. So he's actually trying to protect or stop or whatever, some kind of an evil thing from happening. And it takes a minute for the heroes to figure that out and align themselves with them. Usually there's some kind of imbuement of power right there. And so that's what we get inside of this issue again. But this time, all of our heroes combine powers into this ridiculous form and help out Godzilla take on whatever the monster is of the week inside the issue. So it was fun. It is silly. It's whatever. If you're into Godzilla, you're into X-Men, it's a good, cool crossover, but it's not going to be something that's going to blow you away. But, check these out if you've been enjoying them so far. I think you're going to like this one. If that's the case, let me know if you did. All right, that's it for Marvel. Let's go over to DC. We have Supergirl issue number 1, Sophie Campbell on this, and I was really excited for this one, because we have a Supergirl movie that's been in the works for a while, based on one of the best Supergirl comics of all time, right? Tom King's run with Woman of Tomorrow. Just got news it finished wrapping. We got a cool cast on that one. Lobo is going to be showing up. A lot of excitement around Supergirl, so the number 1 better be awesome, right? No, not really, to be honest with you. The artistic style, Sophie Campbell is great at what she does if the story fits it and the vibe fits it, which she writes the character to fit all of that. We have a real down to earth, what am I going to do now? I'm going to move back home. I'm going to kind of reorient, settle back down. Clark's saving this world. I don't know what my place is, kind of a vibe inside this book. And then she goes home and she realizes that there's an imposter Supergirl in her hometown right now that's got the entire community and her own family, mind you, her adopted family, I guess, convinced that she is the real Supergirl and not Kara. Who knows, guys? I don't know exactly what's going on. I will say that this does prove that Sophie Campbell did read a lot of Supergirl, at least some of the early stuff. There's a lot of throwbacks to some of that stuff. So, I mean, you know, homework well done. But, you know, this is not the Supergirl I was expecting, especially with all the cool Supergirl news about Woman of Tomorrow and everything else. So kind of a letdown for me, to be honest with you. I was hoping the story would be something different, a little bit more mature, a little bit more serious. It wasn't that at all. I don't know, guys. Did you read it? What'd you think? Absolute Batman issue number 8 is out as well. That was really hard on the previous issue number 7, because I think it was just such a, I don't know, a stark difference between what we've seen so far from the art perspective, from the writing perspective. The Mr. Freeze character I didn't quite jive with right here, or rather like their son or whatever it might be, the monster in here. I really liked issue number 8 though. I thought it was pretty cool. It is another story of Batman just being pushed to the edge and having to do whatever he can do mentally and physically to escape. But it was at least interesting. The visuals seem to step it up as well. And we're kind of rolling through this a little bit. We have some fodder, which is always nice when you have a hero that can just kind of go all out. Some really interesting battles and panel work there. So I like that a lot. And I'm really excited for the Bane arc that's going to be starting really soon. So, you know, this issue was way better than issue number 7, I thought. Plus, we're going to be going into Bane very soon, so it's got me still excited about Absolute Batman in general, but it is in that mid-tier, mid to low in the excitement level overall in the Absolute universe, because we have amazing books like Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Superman, and Absolute Martian Manhunter. Batman's probably sitting in that 4th place spot right now, to be honest with you, but it's got a lot of ways before it hits Flash or Green Lantern, so there's at least that. Absolute Batman number 8 is out, better than number 7, wrapping up this arc here very soon. Can't wait to go into the next arc with Bane for sure. Let me know if you read it down below. Speaking of Batman, we have Dark Patterns issue number 6 out. Ashley Wood variant right there. Awesome variant cover. I really, really like Batman Dark Patterns. It does take that Batman who's a little bit still early in his career, it feels like. It's still very much a detective book, so we have a little bit of an inexperienced Batman. He still gets surprised by these weird things that happen. And, we're facing classic villains with amazing artwork, a lot of suspense, and Dan Watter's doing a great job of like twisting some of these villains into a new way. This interpretation of Scarface and how it can spread and manifest and take over an entire building was really, really cool, I think. A lot of great visuals in here. I can see for sure Hayden Sherman pulling back some of that classic Year One panel work, for instance, or Sin City, rather, instances here. Look at these staircases right there. It's amazing work right there. It's like they just got done killing Goldie. I love it. So this book was really cool. The artistic style was great, of course, right? Coloring and everything was right on. I can't wait to get into the next arc. It's going to be something exciting as well. I just love these Dark Patterns stories right here. Classic vibe, cool storytelling, amazing artwork. It's what more can you want from a Batman book? Let me know if you read it. Jeremy Adams doing a great job over on Aquaman. We have issue number 5 out as well. So this is part of that all-in tie-in. We're featuring Arthur Curry, of course, in here. The Return of the King on this one. He's been re-imbued with some of his classic powers, his trident and whatnot, and he's learning to control his powers with water and the ocean a little bit more. Of course, running into more and more allies along the way to take on this like prophecy head on, right? And so we get a little bit of hint of that. Like, where's Mira been this entire time? We get to see a little bit of that in here. Who's held her captive right now? At what cost? How did she contribute to this? We get hints to all of that stuff right there. What's most interesting, though, is some of the allies that Arthur has at his side. We get a classic character in lore and legend and in novels themselves join Arthur inside this, bringing along some of his toys to play with as well. So it's really cool to see the cast building inside the story and the cool display of power throughout the entire thing. So I think it's a really great Aquaman run, and I'm so happy I can say that. We're 5 issues in. I'm interested, and I can't wait for each issue. So the team's doing a good job, just in general, keeping my attention, telling a great story. Art is really solid as well. Check out Aquaman if you haven't yet. I think it's a sleeper hit. Let me know if you're reading it. All right, that's actually it for the big two. Let's go over to Image real quick. Man, we have this huge book that came out this week, Exquisite Corpses #1. Of course, we have Jenny Frison cover on this one, Tynan and Walsh, Belair, and Carey on this book. So the origin of this story is actually pretty interesting. There was like a weekend retreat, got a bunch of creators together, and they put together a pretty cool story about essentially all these wealthy families getting together every 5 years and having like a purge night, so to speak. Each family has a representative from their family. It could be somebody hired from the outside, a serial killer, a madman, something like that. They dump these people into a remote town that's been paid off and pretty much abandoned by society. And those people go at it, and the last one to survive, that family actually owns basically the rights to run the country however they want for the next 5 years. Really interesting premise right there. So we spend most of this issue understanding who all the key players are from each family. And we get it presented to us almost like in a fighting game kind of a style. They show up, they present their tokens or whatever it is, wherever they congregate, and they're all like eccentric, just crazy madmen, things like that. But we do have some people that are more grounded inside the story, and we focus on them as well. So there's a little bit of groundedness in this book. There's also a lot of just crazy nutbags in the book as well. It gets ultra gory. It's 64 pages long. It's actually pretty engaging. It flies by pretty quick. I really like that a lot. I had a great time with Exquisite Corpses. A little bit hesitant going into this, but had a great time with this one. #1's out. Let me know if you read it. All right, probably the next biggest, or perhaps an even bigger book of the week, we have the Invincible Universe Battlebeast issue #1. I hope you got your blind bags, because those are selling for outrageous amounts right now. And depending on what cover you got, you may have hit gold right there as well. But whatever, that's the spec of the week. This book was actually really good as well. I will say, if you haven't read Invincible, I think he shows up in issue 19. It doesn't matter. The character stands on his own completely, and in the first page or two we do get a little appearance of our Invincible characters, and we quickly move away from that, and we understand his journey, his desires immediately, and we are like oddly aligned with his goals inside the book, which is really cool. Basically, badass lion dude going around the galaxy trying to find worthy opponents that will be up to the task of ending his life. That's exactly what we're up to right here. The ship that he's commandeered has an AI system that's helping him along. The relationship between the two of them is hilarious. And the best thing about this book, over the top gore, tons of action, right to the freaking point kinds of stuff inside here. Otley's doing an incredible job of the art. Kirkman's keeping us engaged with really great dialogue. Just compelling, simple story. And it blew me away this week for sure. Definitely check out Battlebeast #1 if you haven't yet. Let me know if you did. Of course, we have an Energon book this week. We're going to go over to Transformers issue #20, Daniel Warren Johnson variant right there. Loved this issue. It's very grounded. It's very easy to understand, even from a newer reader perspective. I hate seeing newer reader. I'm 20 issues into this freaking series, and I feel like I don't know anything still about these characters. But you Transformer fans, you've been eating good for the last 2 years, essentially, so I'm really happy for you. We touch base on both sides, right? What's Optimus up to? What are the doubts that he still has? What is the lingering power, right? Like, he absorbed some people before. We're trying to understand what that means, what if they assimilated, what their memories are all about. So we're touching base on the Autobots here to see exactly where we are, what our current challenges are. We're undermanned, of course. Optimus is always on the back heel, right? So, like, I don't exactly know what they're going to be doing right now. They're going to have to bring in some more resources very soon, because Megatron is back in the picture, and he is going all out on some of the former, leaders of the Decepticons and everything. We had a cool issue before featuring Megatron and like his trials and tribulations. We had a cool showcase of powers we see again inside of this issue. So again, it's just a touch base issue. It's kind of the calm before the storm, I would say, although there is moments in this book that certainly shine from the action point of view, mostly on the Decepticons side. Continuingly great artwork, of course, inside this book. Daniel Warren Johnson was jumping off the writing duties at issue 26, I think. No idea who's going to be jumping back on, but solid issue for sure. Let me know if you read it. Let's wrap things up with Geiger issue #14. Loved this issue. My favorite book in the Ghost Machine universe. Crazy issue right here. We have Ashley, right? Our new nuclear woman, the glowing woman portrayed in the last several issues. We don't exactly know her backstory. It's real shady, right? She's been telling Geiger all these things that she's been doing, and some of the people that messed with him back in the day, she's taken care of, and she's trying to train him to be something right now more than he is, and we don't really know why. Of course, we learn that a lot of things are being held from our characters right now. We learn a lot of crazy things in the last couple of issues. It all comes to a head inside of here. I mean, Gary Frank and Brad Anderson doing an incredible job on the interior artwork. You have two characters going head to head with such ferocity, right? The coloring is awesome inside the book. They do a great job of just showcasing these battle scenes. And I gotta say, like, the reasons why she was holding things back or the actual secrets that she had from Geiger, I couldn't predict really coming into this. And you know a lot about what her role is or what she's trying to accomplish in here, but we don't get the entire picture just yet. It's gonna be cool to see that unravel a little bit more. We get some Junkyard Joe moments inside the book too, with his creator trying to reprogram him, because now he's in the mix right now. And we still have a town that's basically being under attack right now, and we have this nuclear warhead to deal with as well. Lots of crazy stuff happening in the next couple issues of Geiger for sure. Make sure you read this one of my favorite books out right now. Let me know if you are. All right, guys, that's all I read this week. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know down below what you're reading and what your favorite books of the week were. While you're down there, like, subscribe, share, hit that bell notification to be alerted whenever I put out new videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the comments.